This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports Chaco. We're here at the public workout and we're delighted to join once again with James McGivern. Something special, obviously, showing obviously the Belfast fans probably a bit of what's to come probably on Saturday night.
That was only a wee mess about, wasn't it? That was like a friendly or a five-a-side kickabout. But yeah, it's good crack, isn't it, for all the fans to come down, have a wee look and a wee nosy.
So obviously some of your fights obviously have been during the lockdown and things like that, so I guess probably fighting obviously in Belfast with crowds and things like that. I'm not sure how many autographs you've had these signed today just yet, but...
No, just a couple, just a few. But no, I did the field last year and then did November. The field last year was nuts. I actually had to leave early because you were walking about the pitch and walking about the park and you were trying to say hello to these people and say hello to that people, and people were pulling you halfway through and do you want a drink? Yes, and then getting photos of you and throwing drink around you. So I actually ended up leaving there. After McKenna's fight I had to go because I was just getting swamped, so I'm used to it kind of a wee bit. I'm not a superstar, like I'm very much a small fish, but it's good crack. I love doing it. A lot of people complain about doing it. I love doing it. It makes me feel like a celebrity.
I think I've maybe spoke to you before, but what's your autograph like? Do you still practice it in the house?
My autograph is like a 6-year-old. It's I says to a girl asked me to sign things there, and I says, really, do you want my dad to sign it? Because me and my dad, we're both James McGivern, so he's the same signature as me. I just want him to do it, and it'll look like something. But I'm practicing, I'm working on it. My bedroom wall is just a bunch of squiggles, my name.
I think I was the guy as well. When I was a kid, I was like, I want to be a famous footballer when I grow up, and I kept writing my name, but I was terrible at it, the same as yourself.
The football and the autograph looks alright, but the football wasn't too good.
Football was terrible. Speaking of football, you were playing in obviously Kieran McGivern's, obviously charity game of the week. How did you get on?
Brilliant. I've called myself Henrik Larsson. I actually went in, funny enough, to the changing room, and a big guy, I can't remember his name, but I walked in and went, his number 7 gone. He went, here, I've got it, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, I do. I can't play without it. And I was running about in the missus taking videos, and I was putting the Magnificent 7 song over the top of it. Played alright, I think. Now, this Kieran duffed us a wee bit, because they looked at our squad, and then looked at their squad, and there was a couple of ex-Irish League players in their squad, and a couple of current players that played a decent standard. And I went, right, well, we've been stiffed here. But it was good crack, I enjoyed it.
I guess in some ways you were sort of having to be careful. I guess probably...
Yeah, I was throwing myself about, I didn't care. See, I went into that saying, I went it and I went, I'm only going to play 15 minutes at the end. I played the full match. But I was going to come off and I went, nah. Once I start doing things, I can't stop myself.
Does that sort of help with fight? Obviously playing 90 minutes of football, running about like a maniac. Does that help you obviously prepare for your fight as well?
No, see boxing fitness, right? I was thinking this the other day. See boxing fitness. A boxer could go and play 90 minutes of football like that. A footballer couldn't go and box. It's a different kind of fitness altogether.
It's more the upper body sort of work involved with it, isn't it?
It's just fitness, just our engines in general. Boxers and combat sport athletes are the fittest in the world. Maybe CrossFit athletes, but we're up there. Like.
I know obviously a few times obviously I've fought at a very, very low standard. You don't realise how quickly you can empty the gas.
My early days as a pro, when I was sparring, I was emptying the tank the first 3 rounds because I was just going a million mile an hour. And I used to come back to my dad and go, I can't go pro here, I can't do these rounds. I empty myself, and he went, you go 100 mile an hour from the get-go. So it took me a while to go right and settle down and manage rounds, we call it. You don't slow down, you just manage the round. I'm not going to tell you what that means because that's my secret's getting let out, but we manage the rounds.
I think I seen bits of it yesterday. I was in the gym with D Walsh and Lee Reeves, and obviously they were doing wee bits, and I can get where you're coming from there. You were actually sparring Lee a few rounds on this camp. How was that?
Man in boxing? He's not Lee Reeves, he's the best looking man in boxing. That's his name from now on.
I think there may be a folly between him and Paddy if you give Lee Reeves that title.
No, Lee Reeves, I went in the other day. I think he was away and I followed him on Instagram and he was away all over the planet on holidays after he won that belt. And you have the life of a Kardashian, flying all over the world, just rating pizzas and doing all the rest of it. But no, here, great sparring, especially for this fight. If everyone is saying that Tony is the way he is, Lee's a great spar.
And Tony's obviously, speaking on Tony as well, it's probably a fight that probably came from nowhere. I think when initially I was sort of looking at opponents for you, and I was obviously messaging Jamie, I was going, how's he fighting? I couldn't picture anybody else at the weight that you were fighting. You know, maybe somebody had more fights or was inactive, and I was going, I couldn't think of it. And then when it was announced, it was like, it was one that came from nowhere sort of thing.
See, so I said to Jason, I want to be on the field. And then he texted me and says, right, we've got a slot. Do you want to have an easy 6-rounder to get yourself back in the swing of things, or do you want an all-Irish fight? And he says, give me an all-Irish fight for an Irish title. And then we found out the Irish title wasn't going to happen because you had to do 10 rounds or so. I don't know, there was a reason.
I think you have to do 8 rounds for 8 rounds for an Irish, and I think you have to go Celtic first.
So then he says, right, well there's Tony for an all-Irish fight, and I says yes. He just sent me a box rack. I says, yeah, no problem. And then it says, get a Celtic title, sort of. Nah, it's not happening. Well, I haven't been told no, but I've lost hope for it. But it's still a smash. Everyone's interested in it. Everyone's interested in our fight, so it's as good as a title fight.
I guess it's one of them unknowns, sort of. You know, how's Tony going to make the weight? Obviously coming down to 135.
He's not like super lightweight or something.
I think he's fought at like 154. I think initially maybe.
Someone told me he's super lightweight, so that's not that hard. Listen. He's a professional boxer. He's going to cut the weight. Like he's going to come down on Friday and weigh in. There's no. He's a professional, isn't he? So he's going to come down and make the weight. The fight's on. Like that's not worried about the weight, anything like that.
These have both been gentlemen, I guess. You're probably going to have. You don't need to have that. You don't need to have the bad blood.
No, that's a little bit. Excuse my French crap. Because at the end of the day, we're going to fight. And I'm going to give him a hug and a kiss and go. I don't know if Tony drinks. He probably does he? I go and buy him a pint after. Because we're just two young fellas trying to make a way for ourselves in the world. So I don't hate him. I don't think he hates me. I hope he doesn't. Tony, I love you.
I think your missus might be a bit jealous when obviously you're giving Tony a kiss after the fight.
No problem. Not a worry. She's like that fella Roos then. I said spasiba at the end of the fight because I'm going to learn. Now he's just Garm yogurt. That's not that hard to learn. Like, but I'm going to learn how to say thank you in everyone's language to the fight.
I think I said earlier on. I like to say hello in everybody's language. I think it's perfect.
Abbreviate this hello in Russian.
And obviously your link up with, I think we sort of maybe touched on it the last time a wee tiny bit, but your link up with obviously SB Sports and Jason Quigley is going to be your manager.
Out here with an LA Lakers top on with James on it. Now LeBron, I thought it was for me, but it's LeBron James obviously. But no, what a team, what a great team to be involved with. He's sort of kicking off his managerial career, I'm kicking off my boxing career, so I'm just going to fly to the top of the whole thing.
I guess obviously it's a good link up to have because obviously Jason's fought a lot in America and stuff as well. That's your dreams to obviously fight as much in America as you can.
He's been and fought for world titles. Again, he'll tell himself he was in the running and was in a matter of inches away from fighting with Canelo. He's got all the connections over in America. He's got connections in England. Everybody knows him, so it's great for me.
Obviously, finally, obviously when I touched on the Commonwealth Games, obviously you were a silver medalist last time out. Obviously everybody's bronze medalist. Well, we'll give you a silver.
Should have been silver, but sure.
Obviously all the teams out there at the moment, obviously we've had a couple of casualties, but obviously there's 4 fighting for medals today. It looks like it's going to be a really good Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Is it bringing?
Always have a good Commonwealth Games. Like I seen a photo the other day in Georgetown. There's a picture or a plaque.
Roll of Honour.
And look at the amount of medals on it. Ireland always do fantastic in the Commonwealth Games.
I think Paddy Barnes was obviously annoyed, and on one of them they actually spelled his name wrong.
Is my name spelled right?
I think your name was spelled right.
That's all I'm worried about. My name's on it.
But obviously, is it 8 rounds on Saturday night?
Well, I don't know. I think I was told it's signed for 8. They said 6er, but I'm maybe sure it's 8. I hope it's 8.
I guess probably 8. Well, 8 rounds.
It's 8, and I've done all this training for 8 rounds, and it's 6. I'll be furious. What a waste of a camp.
do you see it obviously being a fight that goes the distance? I guess you've both fought journeyman sort of level so far.
Everyone apparently Tony's a boxer, so it's going to be a chess match, isn't it? It's going to be two guys, 2 southpaws. So it's anyone that likes boxing tuning in on watch it.
It's going to be a purist fight more than anything. I think it's probably a potential show stealer.
It's going to be a beautiful display of boxing, I would say.
You see obviously other fights in the card, and sometimes it can get overshadowed sort of, but I think serious credit has to go to you and Tony for both these to get on the card. He's obviously had to fight each other sort of in a way as well, so it shows testament that everybody loves all Irish fights.
That's the way it should be. Everyone's saying, fair play lads. It shouldn't be fair play, it should be, that's what you should be promoting to do. Everyone should be doing that anyway. Like, if everyone's in the box and goes, I want to be a world champion and this, that and the other, well, you're going to have to put up and go for it, aren't you? There's no point talking about it, you need to go and do it, and me and Tony and I are both going to go and do it.
What fight do you sort of, not that you maybe might not get to see too much of the card, but what fight are you looking forward to the most?
Colin Murphy, my wee mate. And I don't know where he is in the card, I haven't even looked at the card, I don't know where I am on the card, but Murph's going to run through this fella. I don't know Rudahan, and I've not a bad word to say about him, but wee Murph is flying. I used to swarm with him 2 weeks ago maybe, and the kid is flying. I've never seen anything like it in my life. He's like a motor car, you just wind him up and away he goes.
Do you get jealous of him probably in the fact that like the coffee?
I would love to have that kid's engine. See, if it did, I would never counterpunch ever. I would just fight and fight and fight because he can just fly. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
It's that sort of raw and youthness of him. Like he just loves drinking coffee, like going like.
He just loves it. He loves just doing stupid things like running marathons 2 days every week. He's just nuts.
He's crazy, but obviously he's a good fight as well. And I say that's another testament of the fact that I think they're both 21, 22, and they're both going in for a fight.
It takes a big set of balls for them to do it because you're getting in. And this is their biggest card. Like I think they've fought in the Europa and things like that. So this is in an arena now, not a hotel. This is an arena. There's going to be thousands upon thousands of people there. There's a big ring walk with all the flashy lights. And there's going to be big lights in the ring. It's going to be roasting. I've been talking to Colin. We were doing S&C in the gym together with Stuart. I was trying to sort of give him tips on, like, when the ring music goes, don't be letting yourself get too carried away, and then you get a big dump when you get into the ring and the music's off and it's go time. I did it in the last fella. Walking out and everyone was going nuts and a bell rang and I went, oh, it's a fight here. I sort of switched off. It takes you a while to get warmed up again, so I'm just giving them wee tips, things like that to watch out for. I
guess you're sort of looking forward to walking out to SSE as well. Jimmy Mack and big lights. You just couldn't imagine any better.
I'm not even going to tell you. I'm going to leave this surprise. But everyone's going to be singing Jimmy Mack.
Can we not have it obviously off you give us a wee tip off? So
that means that you're going to have to be a ringleader on the song as well.
As long as I don't have to wear a miniskirt.
I wouldn't want that air, to be honest. Don't think anybody wants that now. I might wear one out to the ring.
May wear one out.
I'm going to dance from out to the ring, I think.
I think for Sean was maybe looking at getting his missus to obviously sing him out to the ring.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? My daughter can't sing, but I get her to do it, no problem. And she would do it. Get her a few beers, no problem.
A couple of bottles of red BPM, she's laughing.
A few bottles of red BPM, and she's like a go-go gadget kid. She'll fly away.
But obviously we said we keep it short and sweet, just over 11 minutes, but we also want to thank you for your time. Obviously enjoy the rest of fight week, and I'm sure, like anybody, we'll all be tuning in to see a classic on Saturday night.
It's a boxing match, a boxing display from the boxing master.
Cheers, James, thank you.